So I think so how did you go about that part? Like, when did you decide I need to make a toy of this? And then what was your process to actually go hunt down the manufacturer, and like, how did you go do it?
So I would be lying if I said that he wasn't a huge inspiration on this project specifically. I mean, in my whole career, but in this project specifically, I'm a huge lover of his toys. The way that they feel, how matte they are, the quality on them, you know.
They look like a real thing. They look very finished and professional.
These.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about his work. Cause definitely was a big inspiration for me to make these, but just to do something. So one thing, I just like working in different mediums. As much as I talk about putting in the hours in the studio, that also gets a little like lonely and a little boring. I love what keeps me like excited is working in new mediums, like clothing design, making the shoes that will be taking pre-orders for next week. That's been a year process.
Cool, by the way.
Thank you, man. Working with resin, working on canvas, I noticed it works on paper for the first time at that show, the recent show I did, like tattoo themed, and applying it to different mediums. I just made a rug. I'm waiting for the rug to come in, like a... Oh, yeah. Forget the name of it, but like design stuff like that. And I love learning the process, learning the limitations. How does this work? What are we limited to? Can this work? No, this can't work because you can't do this. Screen printing, you're limited to certain colors and you can't have gradients. And then I just love to learn all of these different processes. It keeps it fresh and exciting for me. At the end, of course, I still love the most of the time to be in there painting on canvas. But if I'm working for a show, I might be in there for 3 months, 50 hours a week, every single day, work on canvases. Once the work for that show is done, I might not want to paint for two or 3 weeks. And I need projects like this to work on. But this was a drawing. I made a 2D drawing. Okay. I found a manufacturer online.
US or Asia?
Asia.
Yeah. Everything.
But I'm super happy with the quality.
And did you design the packaging, or did they?
So I designed the packaging, even that part, sending the template and then filling out, okay, this, designing a 3D thing and you're not seeing it in 3D.
It looks very finished.
It's really, and this is the underside that it comes in.
How many did you have to make?
100.
That's it?
I could have made less. I could have made 50. The price goes up, but I could have made 50. Yeah.
Interesting. And is there good margin on these, or are these more for exposure, or it's like a couple bucks?
No, the margin's pretty good. The margin's pretty good. Yeah.
And like the big one, the 48-inch one, how many of those did you have to make? And is that the same supplier, or is
same supplier?
Okay.
So
it's going to weigh a ton.
It cannot be. If it was equivalent to this, it's going to be a different material. If it was equivalent, this thing would be literally a ton. So we cannot do that. But yeah, just work. When they send you the template for the box, you're seeing it flat. You see this thing like as if it were completely opened up. So it's hard to think about, okay, this is going to be the top and this is going to be the sides. And to try to like that is exciting for me. It's fun. And I think I did a pretty good job. I love the way it looks. This side is hand marked because it's one box and I had the 2 different colors. So marks the color and the number of 50. Boom, this on the front, with love on the sides.
No, it looks super professional.
Floating hearts on the side. I'm very, very happy with the quality.
And how long did that take you to, like, from beginning to end, how long did that take you to actually execute?
I think we started talking in, like, the springtime, almost a year.
Okay. So it's not a quick project.
No, it's because, first of all, communicating with Asia is hard because it's 12 hours difference. And when I'm going to bed, they're waking up. So rarely is there a direct communication. Sometimes 10 p.m., it's 10 a.m. for them. So you could have like back and forth direct. And then, of course, there's the language barrier and waiting for a sample. I have to see one. The first sample comes and you get it. And it's like, all right, I want to change this and this. And you have to pay for each sample. Wait for the second sample to come. Then each sample takes maybe 4 weeks to produce and then 2 weeks to get here. So each sample it's a month and a half in itself. And then it's not like I get it and I'm like, all right, I need to make this change. And then I tell him, and then it's exactly 6 weeks. Then it's weeks of communication again, and then the 6 weeks again. But again, I had somebody handling that. I was communicating with my person here, and they were doing the communicating with them because it became a lot. But it's fun. It's fun for me this is only the first one. I plan on doing more. And it brings it into it. I just love to see this thing that I created in new mediums. As much as I love, my main thing will always be painting on canvas, fine artist. I love to see this character that I created on a shoe, on the side of a building, in 3D form, in sculpture, in a toy, in on a carpet and rug. I would love to see in a wallpaper someday, like really nice high-end wallpaper, interior design.
Curious to see what it does in terms of opening doors, because there's like that whole toy work. There's a whole world that exists around this type of stuff of like art toys. And so I have a feeling it will open up a bunch of really interesting doors for you.
Yeah, I'm excited already. Yes, that is how this thing started. So a toy company, a toy store, like a small boutique custom toy store reached out like maybe a year ago. And then that's how I found these people, the manufacturers, to make it. They sell like custom stuff. They said, hey, are you interested? We work with fine artists. Are you interested we're doing a show. We'll send you some toys. They sent me like these brick walls. So it's like the same kind of material. The brick walls maybe about this size. And then we could paint. So you do like a mural on this mini brick wall, and then they sell those brick walls. So getting into, there's just so many different avenues, but that is how it started. And then yes, this I'm sure will get me further into that space, and I'm excited. I love all these space. I love the interior design. I love toys. I love sneaker culture. I love tattoo culture. I love almost all of it. There's one portion of it I don't love so much, but I don't even know if I should say that or not. I don't know if I should shit on a whole sector, but
kind of leave the witness already.
If you ask that question later, I'll let you ask it, but I'm not just gonna shout them out for no reason.
I'm going to guess it's digital art. It's the one thing I didn't ask about, so it's for sure, and you didn't mention, so it's got to be NFTs. It just
doesn't. Again, I talk about the excitement that I have when I get like, wow, I get to freaking. And sometimes I'll get stressed out, right? Because we get caught up in the moment, and we're like, oh, this is stressful. Things don't always go easy, and then I zoom out. I'm like, I'm so lucky, and I get to the problems that I have. They're trivial, and I will take my problems any day of the week, because I get to design a table, I get to make paintings, I get to design a toy, I get to design shoes, and I'm excited about those things. I'm not very excited at all about digital art. What is exciting about that? I'm sorry.
Oh, by the way, I spent 6 months working on an NFT project that went nowhere, and I was early, and I somehow still missed apes. So trust me, there's no one more bitter about the space than
God
me.
Bless.
And like, Discord sucks. Like, spending your life on Discord is no way to live your life. So I'm with you 1,000%.
And then I've been approached by dozens of people about doing these, and I've entertained them, and some of them have gotten so far. I attached the physical print that I sold. It came with an NFT, a free NFT. The NFT part was free with the physical print. That's as far as I went. But they're like, yeah, we got to spend time on Discord. You got to interact with these people. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I don't care. I don't care what size paycheck there might be on the other side of this. I'm not going down that road.
You're smart. By the way, do what you love.
I have to enjoy it. That is the main reason. And that is why I'm so lucky and we're so lucky that we get to do what we enjoy doing. And I am sure that there are a lot of people that are very enthusiastic about it, and they're happy to be in that space, and they want to work in that space, and it's exciting to them. God bless those people. I'm sure there are more people that are only in it for the wrong reasons, just to make money and whatever weird shit goes on with the NFTs. Fuck those people. But for the people that are really enthusiastic about it, and that's their medium, digital art,
yeah, for sure.
Amazing. Push their boundaries, create it, push the space. I hope it grows. I hope that the real people that are in it for the right reasons, digital artists, animators, I hope that they are able to thrive in that market, and it lasts for a long time for them. I'm just not that interested in it.
It's okay. I get it. A couple more questions. We're getting close to the end. We always do these for about an hour. A bunch of questions we'll have to do at the second interview. But the first one, do you have a mentor or a coach or someone that you like follow that whose career you're like, that's what I want to emulate? Or have you made your own way the whole time?
So good question. There's definitely the artists that I look at. There's like the traditional artists, of course, that I love. And then there are the contemporary artists that I look at their careers, and they really help. They help me see what's possible and and that I can get into these different markets and do them right and still be successful in all of them. The Cause, the Takashi Murakami, and the Shepard Fairey, and the Tristan Eaton, and the Brent Estabrook, Victor Castillo, Ricardo Cobra. And then personally, Flory, who we are from the same neighborhood in Brooklyn, but he's 7 years older than me or so, didn't know each other from childhood. He moved out of the neighborhood. We connected through Instagram to I think it was like 10 years ago. It was right when I started painting. He wasn't even really painting yet. He was making clothes. We connected just because his clothing was very like art based. He was drawing the designs. And, but to see and then he quickly, shortly after that, stopped making the clothing, started painting on canvas. And he just really took it to another level. The laser focus that kid has really helped me see what is possible if we put that work in. Because again, it's before you could put that work in, you have to know it's possible a little bit. Someone has to show you that like this is possible, and you got to think that you got to know that there's a path there to be taken, and to see.
Yeah, and seeing someone from the neighborhood that made it is always it can be done.
And just to see the things that he has achieved because he was from back then. So I guess like maybe let's say that first year he was making clothes, and then so let's say 9 years now, it's been laser focused on fine art and painting. Not really, not this. He didn't have a barbershop that he was working on and worried about it. And I was also younger. I was the life, running around, chasing girls, drinking, partying, which I really don't do anymore at all. I don't really go out anymore. But to see the progress that can be made when you are laser focused, it showed me like, okay, wow, if I could get that. And also different because he enjoys really spending all of his time painting, working on canvas. He's more of a traditional painter. The career path is a little different because I do working in these different mediums. I like the toy design, the clothing design, and just being able to apply my brand to different mediums, but still having that laser focus, yes, in all of them, and seeing what's possible. And because he has, it's amazing where he is now, and I believe he will go even further. And I thank him for helping blaze that trail. He's somebody from the same neighborhood. Again, we didn't know anybody. We come from a neighborhood, there's cops and firemen and sanitation workers. And if you're an entrepreneur, you got a local restaurant or you're selling drugs. And so I thank him for it. It started as a friendship and it still is, but it became more, he just elevated so quickly and so efficiently that it became more of a mentorship over the years. So I appreciate that. And this one that I have on the table here, I'm sending out to him.
Perfect. So my last questions, because we're coming to the end of the hour, we're actually even a little over, and that I ask all the artists is, what was your biggest mistake? Three questions. One, what was your biggest mistake that you wish, God, if I could do this over, I wouldn't do it? And so far, what do you think, what your greatest achievement was?
I guess the greatest achievement is staying in the water, like we spoke about. Staying in the water, like you mentioned, getting in and everybody's journey is different, but it's been gradual. But I've stayed in the water the whole time, and there was times when it wasn't easy. There was times when it seemed the roller coaster that you'll go on if you take this path. There's highs and lows, and sometimes you feel so good, and you're like, all right, I see it, and this is so possible. And I feel so good. I'm so optimistic. And then there are times on the other side of that, on the other side of that coin, on the downswing, where it seems impossible, and you want to give up. And a lot of people do. And it was funny going this year to Basel and going to like the more beginner fairs spectrum and seeing the artists that are at their own booth and seeing like this look of, I went and I was like on the last day. And I know that there's people that put all their work in a U-Haul and went there. And I know that feeling, spending this money on a booth. They probably got like almost every dollar that they had, put it together to get that booth, and you're not selling. And this look of someone walks by, you pick your head up a little bit and then they keep walking. And I know that feeling. And I guess what I'm most proud of is staying in the water. I have never stopped for 10 years. The biggest mistake, I guess, would be not being maybe too gradual and not putting my foot on the gas faster. So I ultimately, the barbershop closed. I wasn't cutting hair already for years, but I was still managing it. And it took some mental space in my mind. And it also kept me complacent, like financially speaking, because I had money coming in pretty steady. So I didn't have such a fire. The barbershop only ultimately closed year 11. I renovated it in the 10-year anniversary. And then the next month, COVID was shut down. So and it felt shitty when it happened, but that is really when I went 100% in. And the growth in these past 2 years has been, I wish I did it earlier. I wish I.
Right. Because you 100% focus, you get a lot of shit.
And again, I wish I hit the gas earlier, but at the same time, you have to see it to be able. You can't have your foot on the gas if the windshield is foggy. You have to, because you're probably going to crash. You have to defog the window first, and then you can hit the gas. So I'm just grateful now, where it feels pretty clear, and I see it. I see the path, and I got my foot on the gas.
Awesome. Any advice you'd give to up-and-coming artists that are just starting the journey?
Make the plan. Figure out what it is you want to do, and figure out how you're going to get the fuel to get there. Maybe that is something where you don't have to trade so much of your time, bartending 2 nights a week or waitering, whatever it is, delivering pizzas. Figure out, okay, these minimum hours, I need to sacrifice 12 hours to work a week, and that's going to give me just the fuel. And on all of my off time, I'm not going to party so much. I'm not going to go out and blah, 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 and do all these things. There's always a reason if you let there be. There's always a reason to go have a drink and to go give into the resistance, as Stephen Pressfield would say. Do the work on those other hours. Do your work and make a plan. Believe in it and really believe in it. And it's not so easy. You can't just say, all right, I believe in it. And you have to really feel it. And that takes time, but put the hours in. And once you start to see, it's almost impossible if you're putting the hours in to not have growth and to not see the growth. And once you start to see that growth, you realize just keep doing it and there will be more of it. And at some level, it really is almost even more simple than we make it think sometimes in our head. So get in the water, believe in it.
And on that note, there's no better way to finish with the hard work. Anyhow, this was a fantastic interview. I look forward to going back. There's a bunch of good quotes in here that I can't wait to pull out.
I'm going to hate all of them. I hate hearing my voice so much. I don't even know how to look at them. Send them to me.
It's going to be good stuff.
Yeah.
So make sure there's going to be a lot of good stuff. I'm super excited for the shoes coming. Just tell everybody again where to find you.
At Westgard on Instagram, WESTGARD, withlovebywest.com. Right there.
And everyone get out, get some toys if there are any left by the time this airs.
20 left.
Or by the time this airs, by the time this airs, there might be some sneakers available, which looks super dope.
Yeah, thank you, man. Excited for those.
Anyhow, what a great interview. I look forward to keep watching your career. I've watched it for a while, and it's nice to know the backstory behind it.
Cool. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the time. And I'm not going to want to listen back because I hate hearing my voice back, but I'm happy to do it.
Thanks.
All right, brother.